Are you ready for episode number 8 of the MSPT Podcast presented by PokerNews? I'm Chad Holloway, joined by Kyna England at the Venetian Poker Live studio in Las Vegas. MSPT comes here several times a year.
Yeah, it's a nice studio. We love being here at the Venetian.
We're going to talk about one of the stops that happened here because this is a 2025 season 16 year in review episode.
Yes.
That is because since our last episode, there have been no stops. We don't have anything new to talk about in terms of winners and such.
Some stops coming up, but none that have finished since we recorded last.
So I thought it'd be fun to take a look back because we debuted this episode after the World Series of Poker. So there was a whole half a year of MSPT action that we never covered.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, so guess how many stops there will have been? There's still 2 left on the schedule, so let's include those 2. In season 16, 2025, how many stops do you think the MSPT will have had?
29.
That's exactly right. What a guess. 29 stops.
Smart.
I don't know how that compares to past seasons. In fact, I'll have to go back and put together like a spreadsheet of the info.
It's got to be the most. That's got to be the most of all.
Yeah, it's, and they've got a bunch of different stuff going on, especially since I worked for the MSPT, right? So we're going to talk about a lot of it, but the gold cards and the world rankings. One of the things that they have that I've always liked is they have the state awards where you can become an official state champion, right? Yeah. So like when I finished 3rd, it was the Iowa Poker State Championship.
Yes, and when I actually won the tournament, I was the Minnesota State Champion.
That's right. So the states that it's offered is Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, Colorado, Nevada, and I think even more. So
well, it's funny though that there's not. I mean, you can't be the California one, I guess. So because the only stop in California is Sycuan, but they don't want you to be the California.
You also have to worry about trademark from past events. So there has been like a California State Poker Championship, etc.
That's fair.
Yeah. So and then they have just the main event awards, right? They have the trophy, with the lion on it now, but it used to be the iconic Spady logo.
Right. And some of the stops I liked had their own trophy. Are they still doing that?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And so there are also the majors, right? So what happened with the MSPT midway through the year was what started as the Minnesota State Poker Tour in 2009. I think it was 2011. Meskwaki and Iowa said, come on over to Iowa. Well, you can't be the Minnesota State Poker Tour. So they morphed to the Mid-States Poker Tour so they could keep the MSPT acronym.
Yeah.
And that's what it was until earlier this year when they had a major rebrand in which they got rid of the old logo and introduced a new logo and a new name, but also keeping MSPT. So it is the Major Series of Poker, the tour, with the thinking of they were introducing these major events with huge guarantees all across the country, even in Canada. We'll talk about that one coming up. But this was a big thing. It was, it had, at the time of the rebrand, had hosted 279 main events and 70 regional events and awarded over $206 million in prize money. Right now, they've awarded over $231 million.
Pretty sick, man.
And I don't know, what did you think? You won your Player of the Year during the old MSPT, and now you have the rebrand. Like, rebranding is always a tricky thing.
I mean, it's interesting. I'm glad that they kept the MSPT because I think they'll just always be going by MSPT, right? And a lot of people from other parts of the country still don't really know what MSPT is, but expanding, making more stops, bigger guarantees, that's how you get noticed. That's how you grow. That's how you become a big major tour. So it'll be exciting to see, how this year finishes and how we go into 2026. Oh my God, it's almost 2026.
I know.
And how it carries through there. What stops we're going to have, what stops we'll be at, who will win.
One of the other changes was MSPT Hall of Fame criteria changed a good bit. And the reason being is because when the MSPT Hall of Fame was introduced in 2017, there were 18 main events on the schedule.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sick that it changed too. I'm just going to make this about me for a second because I was going to chase it this year. I needed 7 more caches and I had 4 caches or 3 caches this year. And then they went ahead and changed it. So making it a little harder for me to get in now.
Same with Angela Jordison.
Yeah, me and Angela were racing for it. We were actually kind of competing and seeing who could get there first, but it's a little more difficult now. She's way closer than me now.
Well, Tier 1 is the Hall of Fame. So it's achieve a minimum of 40 MSPT main event caches, 2 MSPT main event wins, or 2 Player of the Year titles, one major win, 500K in MSPT earnings. So they've upped the mark to get there. Everybody who is already in is still in. They're not, retroactively applying this. But then they've introduced the Legends Club and the Hall of Fame God Mode. They're like the two tiers that nobody's in right now, I don't believe. So
Josh has got to be close.
I mean, the Legends Club is achieve a minimum of 60 MSPT main event cashes, 3 MSPT main event wins, or 3 POIs, which...
That's hard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Amut is looking like he might...
I wish they had, blended it, between, POI and wins, 3 of whatever. Because it's very hard to get Player of the Year more than once.
Yeah.
Only if you're Amut.
And then they introduced the MSPT Senior Tour at the time, these senior events, 50 plus to enter these. They're usually $300 to $400 buy-ins. The winner of the Player of the Year, Seniors Player of the Year, will get a $5,000 package. So I like that, an emphasis on seniors. This rebrand took effect on June 1st. And actually the first event under the new rebrand was here at the Venetian, that Josh Reichard won, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I watched him win. That was exciting.
So that was obviously very big news for the MSPT in 2025, ultimately led to also this show.
That's what I was going to say. And also, we started this podcast.
We did. And I'm excited to do it. Another big development was the MSPT really upped their photography game. I know this because I used to take photos with my phone.
Yes, you're right, actually. The photos that have been coming out are quite good now. I wonder why.
Yeah, so they are professionally done at most stops, and that's because the MSPT has brought on board Tyler. What's Tyler's last name? I don't want to get...
I don't know. Captain
Abrams,
Crunch.
I think.
Captain Crunch Poker.
That's what he goes by on Instagram. I believe it's Tyler Abrams. I'm sorry if it's not Tyler, but you can check him out on Instagram. But you can also go to gallery.msptpoker.com, and they have photos from the first event they started doing photos at, which was Saikwan Casino in May. You can go click on all these stops, and they have hundreds of photos that you can take for free, professional quality. Put them on your Facebook, put them on your Instagram, put them on your Hendon Mall profile. It doesn't matter, but I mean, I'm looking at them right now. These are sharp looking photos.
They're really good. I think that stop is where they got that one of me on the poster that's really good.
Yeah, so I think that's a big story from 2025. It's like the MSPT is up to its game considerably, and a big part of that is photos, which I know the longtime live reporter Anthony Thompson loves, because now he doesn't have to take crappy ones with his phone. No offense, Anthony, but photos, not your strong suit, nor mine. But that's just, I think, a great thing that I wanted to shout out here on the podcast. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, the major events, right? These are meant to be the sort of events that players mark on their calendar because they're going to be 7-figure guarantees.
Yeah.
The buy-ins, I think, are still like around $1,100 or maybe some $1,600 ones. And these events kicked off here, as I mentioned, the Venetian. The first one was June 4th through the 18th. It was a $1,600 Heart Poker Championship. Yeah. So most of these majors will be like the Spade, Club, Heart, Diamond Major. And Josh Reichard won it, which I think is just fitting.
Of course he did.
Right? Defeated Jessica Vierling in heads-up play, took it on for $212,000 in his second MSPT title. To me, it was a great way to introduce the majors, right? Because if you think of like poster boy for MSPT, Josh is right there.
Ugh, we love it and we hate it at the same time.
You're the poster girl for the MSPT, so...
I wish I had as many wins and cashes as Josh, but...
Yeah, he's tough to beat. And then there was... More recently, in October, was the Spade Poker Championship at Firekeepers Casino, which marked PokerNews' return of kind of like live social coverage at an MSPT event.
Yeah.
I actually made a quick appearance there, and it was one Merritt Kuhn taking down that inaugural MSPT Spade Championship.
And it's always such a big stop, no matter what kind of guarantee they put on it.
Yeah, I mean, they did a heads-up deal. He got almost $340,000, and the $268,000
for an $1,100 tournament.
Yeah, $172,000 for third. It's just the top 5 got 6-figure scores.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, so that just goes to show you how the majors are and Firekeepers.
Right.
Which should, when it comes to mid majors, Firekeepers, don't underestimate it. And then right after that, the next week was the first ever Canadian Poker Championship, which was also a major. They had a $1 million prize pool, which it surpassed, got 1,057 runners, so just squeaked by it. And the winner of that was Jinrong Zhang, taking it down for $165,000. There was a three-way deal.
Yeah.
All top three got six-figure scores.
Jinrong Zhang. I remember when we talked about him.
Also, though, history, because it was the first time the MSPT has ever went outside the United States.
Yeah, pretty exciting. I hope they keep that up.
Because you want to go.
I want to go. I want to go play in Canada, but it was just timing. Timing's always so bad when you have a job.
Let me pull up the winners here from the MSPT, going all the way back to the start of the year.
What's the last one? Wasn't Pato the last one? There's got to be a fourth one.
There was Pato, and I think the next one spills into...
Oh, it's not till next year.
Yeah,
okay.
so the first major of next year will be the one we were looking forward to at Talking Stick in Arizona. That's the Diamond Poker.
I'm really looking forward to that stop. I'm really excited about it. I talk about it on every episode just because I'm like, when are we going to go? Let's go. January.
I do want to fly in for that one, so we will see. So I'm going all the way back to the beginning of, because this is the year in review, and some of these stops, this podcast didn't exist when these played out.
Right.
So it kicked off January 2nd through the 5th here at the Venetian. This was, I think this studio was here, but it was still very young and in its infancy.
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either, but...
I don't think it was filmed, though, because I know Jamie made the final table of that one.
Well, it was local Bonanza High School math teacher Carson Richards who took it down for $76K, defeating Ryan Lang in heads-up play. Ryan Lang, of course, a very accomplished poker pro. Then it went to Saiquan Casino over in San Diego area.
I went to that one, I think.
David Berger out of Denver, Colorado, took that down for $87,000. I haven't been to Saiquan in a while, but I need to.
Saiquan's super nice. Like, I like going there for sure. It's because it's a resort, you know, you feel fancy even if you lose.
Bally's Blackhawk in Colorado was also in January. That was the main event, 275 in the MSPT, was won by a big name pro. So this Faraz Jaka.
I thought that was this year. Man, such a long time ago, January. That seems like he won last year, you know?
636 runners. He took it down for $127,000. Umut Ozturk was his first final table of the year. I think fourth place for $43,000. But Faraz Jaka, of course, does Jaka coaching. So he's created a lot of content off this deep run as well, which is always great for the MSPT.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think, like, if you look at the history of the MSPT, there's been some big name poker pros who have won titles, but Faraz is definitely right up there.
Yeah, Chance Corneth won one once. I think Rampage won one.
That sounds like very familiar. A lot of them are here at the Venetian too.
Yeah, obviously.
And then this one was very exciting for me personally, but also the Wisconsin poker community. In end of January into February, the MSPT returned to Potawatomi Casino in Milwaukee for the first time since before the pandemic.
Yeah, we were both there.
That's true. We both bagged, I think, and had some drinks. And it was the first. It was a 5-year hiatus, and the first time they were back since the property did a massive $200 million remodel.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole new thing. Players responded, 1,697 runners, which was just absolutely massive. And it was one Timothy Thorpe defeating Umut Ozturk in heads-up play for $244,000. Kyna, what did you finish?
16th or something.
16th for almost $15K. Damn, Kyna. And I think I cashed 115th for a min cash, but I think it was one bullet, so just a little profit for me. So, but that was a very exciting stop because it meant MSPT was back in Wisconsin. And then, of course, it was back here at the Venetian for the Poker Bowl, which is the annual event that takes place during the Super Bowl weekend. 892 runners, and Anthony Scarborough took that one down for $152K.
Look at the rest of the list on that one, too.
Dan Sepio, Dan Heimiller, Kyna England in 10th place.
Jake Long got 11th.
Yes, that's right. Both for $19,250. Man, you started off pretty hot.
I had a pretty good couple, 2 in a row. Come on.
I like it. And then, let's see. I
still got it. You know, I'm rusty, but I still pull it out every once in a while.
They went to Cleveland. Jack's Cleveland was one of my favorite stops, which I haven't been to for a while. 824 runners. Renmai Liu, if I pronounce that right, won it for $156,000. And Anthony Scarborough took third in that one. So early in the season, Anthony Scarborough was the early Player of the Year points leader. And then in February, it was to St. Louis, Hollywood Casino. It was there that Brian Landon took down the title for $102K.
Oh, we talked to him about him on the last episode because he just recently also won another tournament.
Yeah, he won one of the side events at Riverside.
Yeah, pretty sick.
2004 WSOP main event champ Greg Raymer was at that final table. $18,000 for him. And then Grand Falls Casino, which is in Larchwood, Iowa, technically, but it's just like literally across the border from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 513 runners. Angela Jordison.
What?
Angela Jordison.
Hey, buddy, Angela just ships another one. Yeah, that was exciting to follow.
$95,000, and it came like what months after, but it was the season before she won a title. So she had 2 titles in.
She won in Indiana, I think, before the Ameristar stop.
Very good performance for her, and it is a good opportunity for me to put in the next segment of MSPT Memories, which we debuted last week with Gerald Cuniff. This is a segment where we ask MSPT, we'll call them legends, whether they're main event winners, MSPT Hall of Famers, or just people who grind a lot, what their favorite MSPT memory is. It could be a hand, it could be an event, a win, it doesn't matter, it's up to them. And we caught up with Angela Jordison. Check it out.
I have made MSPT a priority. Because it's became kind of like a family. We all travel together, not together, but we see the same people at the stops, and it's became like a poker family. And so I look forward to these stops, especially big stops like this, and can't wait to run deep.
All right, we are back, and we're going to pick it up with the MSPT Riverside, the first stop of the year, because they did 3. We covered the last winner in last episode. March 25th through the 30th, 629 runners. Matthew Porter took that one down for $106,000. From there, it was up to Running Aces in Minnesota, which is where season 16 will conclude in December. 1,004 runners in Minnesota.
Oh, wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, not too shabby. And it was B. Yang taking that one down for $140,000. And then all the way across the country back to Saquon. 417 runners. Brad Gafford took that one down for $87,000. And then to Firekeepers for what I think was the season 16 Michigan Poker State Championship. 3,040 runners, kind of almost 3 million in the prize pool.
Crazy.
That was obviously a very big one. And looking at it, DJ Buckley final tabled that one, finished in 7th, but it was Corey Wick, Wisconsin boy, taking it down for almost $400,000. And then Ameristar East Chicago. This is right before the summer, the last MSPT stop before the World Series of Poker. 619 runners was won by Harrison Genson for $105K. We're going to scroll down. This is another one. You were there somewhere. This one's a little further down. What'd you finish?
Not that far down.
It's not on there. This isn't the one then.
Oh.
This is May. I don't know.
Okay, maybe.
No Kyna on this one, according to this. So,
one of them I did.
So Harrison Genson, who won this, was a Jaka coaching student as well. I mean, we just mentioned Jaka coaching from Faraz Jaka.
That's exciting.
So very good reflection on that. And then it was here that basically caught it up to the summer. And we already talked about Josh Reichard winning here.
Because there's always two here, too. So there's the $1,600 major, and then there's the $1,100 one, too.
That's right. And winning the $1,100 one was one Samuel Bifarella for $141,000.
Bifarella.
And then, of course, that takes us to around when, let me see, I want to make sure this takes it to my big score.
Oh.
So this was a stop right after the World Series of Poker, end of July, the MSPT Iowa Poker State Championship at Riverside Casino. Second time they were there, 815 runners. I finished in 3rd. Let's go for, what did I guess? Almost $70,000. But Jake Long, that bastard who is currently in 2nd place in the Player of the Year race, sucked out on me with his ace-3 to my ace-jack, just saying.
Well, he only got 2nd place anyway.
He did, because he fell to Mike Estes, who was a great winner, had been grinding the MSPT for a long time. He got $153,000. I had played literally next to Mike, seat by seat, from 27 players all the way to when he won. So I got a front row seat, if you will, of him winning, and he was very well deserving. I was happy to see him take that one down. And then from there, it was to Bally's Blackhawk, which is Colorado. Anthony Vargas won the title there for $141,000. And then it was back to Grand Falls. So if you haven't noticed, the MSPT basically has like a circuit.
Right.
And they
Jump
visit
around.
these, in the spring and then again in the fall. Siphon Tran won that one for $368,000.
What? That's huge.
Oh, not 300. That was the prize pool. Or 300. My bad. Yeah, that would be huge in Grand Falls.
For Grand Falls?
Yeah. You want 80,000. 80,000.
That sounds a little better.
Ozturk, though, another final table, third place finish in that one.
Good thing I'm paying attention here.
Yeah, because I don't think I would have caught myself. Maybe this is the one you meant. This is the Ameristar East Chicago, Indiana State Poker Championship.
August, yes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I did. You're right. I went
19th for almost $5,000.
That's it. Move on. Next stop. No.
Well, we got to give credit where credit's due to our boy, Farm Boy.
Oh, yeah. Farm Boy won that one. Right. I forgot.
John Kerfman, $91,000, his first title. I think it was his first gold card, but now he has 3.
Yeah.
Farm Boy's been a grinder in the Midwest circles and
I know. I like
for a
Farm
long
Boy.
time. So
He's super fun.
yeah, we were all excited to see him. He's been traveling with Josh Reichard and Jake Long to these MSPT stuff. It's like they stay together, I think, and
how fun to go with your friends around the country,
especially friends like that you can learn from. So, and then this is about the time I think when we launched the MSPT podcast.
Yes, because we had talked about we talked about Farm Boy. I think that's when we launched.
I think so too, because I remember this stop. They were back at Hollywood Casino in St. Louis, and this is where Jake Long finished in 4th place.
Right.
Amut finished in 5th. And we had Jake on the podcast.
We were waiting all night for him to finish so we could film the podcast.
Yep, I remember that. Robert Noyce won that one for $131,000. So this is MSPT podcast territory because we covered Jack's Cleveland, which is when James Anderson topped 892 runners to win $165,000. Amut Ozturk, 3rd place again.
Yeah.
So you wonder how Amut got to Player of the Year, points leader. I'm listing them kind of right now.
We just kind of told you, yeah. Well, now we're caught up. Are we going to do all the other ones again?
I want to give complete shout out to everybody. We'll go through them quick. Peter Brown won the Saquon stop in, September for $68,000. And then right after was back here at the Venetian for the Nevada Poker State Championship. I was here. I think this is the first time we recorded in this studio. Josh Reichard chatted with me. We caught up with Kathy Liebert. It was Miguel Lopez winning it for almost $87,000, defeating Darren Rabinowitz.
Oh, yeah.
In heads-up play, if you remember. And then we went to Potawatomi Casino for the Wisconsin Poker State Championship. Another big one, 1,698 runners. Greg Shuda took that one down for $232,000. Your good friend Maurice Hawkins at that final table.
My good friend?
9th place for $27,000. And then it was we already talked about the major at Firekeepers. Merritt Kuhn taking that one down. We don't have to rehash that one. And then it was the Playground one right after that. And then it was Riverside Casino where Anthony Kastelik took it down for $115,000. Absolutely stacked final table. We won't get into it because we covered that last week. Go back and listen to that if you must. So that's it. That brought us up to speed.
And then there's 2 more stops.
There is. So right now, the MSPT is at Ameristar East Chicago. There is November 18th through the 23rd, a $300K guarantee main event. And then it will conclude December 2nd through the 14th, the Winter Poker Classic at Running Aces in Minnesota. That'll be these are the last 2 stops that the players can get Player of the Year points. We don't have to rehash it. We covered that in depth last week too, but Amut Ozturk is on top. Jake Long, Josh Reichard both have a shot at it.
Yeah.
They're going to need to do something in these last 2 events.
Well, it'll be sure exciting finish to the year.
Yeah, and 2 stops remaining. I'm thinking I'm going to go to Running Aces if I'm not elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to be there.
Me too. I kind of want to be there too. I mean, just at least for the major tournament. The main event. But
because it can come down to the wire, just like yours did against Taylor Howard, right?
Yeah. It's always really fun to be there and witness it and see. But I mean, it's so close. They might need those side events to figure it out too.
They might. Yeah, it's a full schedule. I think there was, 18 events on that schedule. 18 gold card events, which will be actually probably a good spot for us to wrap up is one of the other big introductions of season 16 in 2025 was the gold cards.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Which is the gold cards. If you win a MSPT main event or side event over $200 buy-in, you get a gold card. And it starts with, I believe, the
Ace of Spades.
Is it the Ace of Spades? So, okay, the first one's the Ace of Spades. The second one will be the Deuce of Spades, then the Three of Spades, Four of Spades, which is where right now it stands because Michael Starrick leads with 4. But the idea is that once you complete the spades, you go to the next suit.
Yeah,
so on.
Somebody's going to get 52. Well, that's probably going to take a while, but it will be exciting. There better be a big prize if somebody gets all 52.
That would be pretty amazing. And it's pretty cool because the MSPT gold cards are literally cards. They are like, you know how cards get graded? They're like in a slabbed or... I can't remember what they're called, but like a hard case.
Yeah, it's in a little case. I have my Player of the Year one is like that, but it's not like a playing card. It's just says Player of the Year. Yeah.
It's gold foiled by a faded spade, which is, of course, the gold standard of playing cards in the poker industry, specially designed by artist Joel Jensen and in a graded card case. So, yeah, I think it's one of the cool things that they did. And then also, like I said, they gave you as a former Player of the Year, and they gave all the Hall of Famers a gold card to start.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to just try and collect. I mean, you still get a trophy, but then you also get like a second trophy. But then your trophies are numbered, right? Like, it's a pretty cool concept.
Well, that is going to do it for episode number 8 of the MSPT podcast presented by Poker News. I think in the next episode, we will have a winner in the Ameristar East Chicago, and we will be flirting with the start of Running Aces, I believe. So,
maybe we film it there.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, maybe I'll have to...
If we both go, I mean, I'll try my best.
Yeah, let me look at that schedule and see. But it's going to be a very exciting finish down to the wire in the Player of the Year race. A record-breaking year for the MSPT. And we are both excited to be a part of it with the MSPT podcast presented by Poker News. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, give us that 5-star rating. And the show, just like the tour, is suited for players.